hello. Happy New Year. Can you believe that it's January? Oh my goodness, we have made it to 2025. Virtual high five. Thank you very much. We have done it. Well done. It is so lovely to see you and to start the year off together. I am so excited. Hopefully you're feeling refreshed after the festive season, or perhaps you're feeling very, very full of lots of food. That's definitely me. I don't know what you're partial to food-wise over the festive season, but for me it has to be a mince pie or 10, lots of chocolate, and just basically any little nibbles, crisps, cheese, crackers, just little tiny bits. But anyway, you may or may not have noticed already that I am in gym gear. Yes, we have been active today. It's a miracle. So we've got on our little gym top with these little hand covers, which I just find very satisfying because my hands are always cold, and a matching gym top. And we're going to try and, here we go. We've gone for flared leggings, everyone. It's very exciting. And today, whilst I have been active, I have to tell you that I have been enjoying the amazing Raycon everyday earbuds. Yes, I have. I don't know about you, but when I am trying to get productive, whether that's work, gym, whatever, I have to listen to music. I just have to. And for me, having the right, lovely fitting earbud in my ear is so key. So before we get into the main bulk of this video, I just wanted to share with you what I've been enjoying. So look how amazing these are. They're so cute. This is in the gorgeous wireless charging case. So this is the lovely, let me see if I can just get this to focus. Oh, aren't they gorgeous? So cute. I'm going to open them up for you. Oh, it's very exciting. They're so lovely. And I'll just pop them in my ear for you, just so you can see just how comfy they are. They are so comfy. You get different little ear bits as well, so you can find a shape that fits your ear. And I actually have these in this sort of lilac-y purple colour with a cloud case, but I also have the forest green, which I guess would have gone with my outfit, but I fancied mixing it up today. So let me tell you more about them. With these earbuds, you get 32 hours of battery life. Plus, with just 10 minutes of charging, you can get 90 minutes of battery. Now, these are also weatherproof and sweat resistant, perfect for sweaty betties like me. And of course, having that weather protection means you don't have to worry if you're out and about in the rainy weather. They also come with active noise cancellation. For me, the reason why I love my Raycon everyday earbuds is the sound quality. That is one of my most important things, and the comfort of the fit. Plus the fact that you can pick a style that really suits you. So if you fancy giving them a try, why not check them out? So if you want to give these lovely little earbuds a try, then please head to my link in the description below. That is buyraycon.com/calm to save yourself 15% off site-wide. Yep, just click my link and you can save yourself 15% off. Very exciting. I definitely recommend. Okay, now we are going to get nice and calm and nice and relaxed. I think one of the most important things we can do, especially at the end of the day, is just really take the time to unwind. And for me, that means getting in some nice comfy clothes. I have been very busy at work today. For those of you who may not know, I run a business outside of YouTube, and that is my full-time job. And we're sort of managing a team and also recruiting for new people at the moment. Things have got quite hectic, so I am trying my best to fire on all cylinders, so I do apologise that I haven't been able to join you as much, but I hope that you have been well and healthy and happy, and if not, let's get you in a much better place. So find yourself somewhere comfy. I am currently in my lounge, and we've got some nice little plants going on as well. Love a bit of a plant, bit of nature. And grab yourself a nice drink as well. I've got my new water bottle, which I don't know if this is a thing about getting older, but I feel unnaturally happy about this water bottle. So this is a Brita water bottle, not sponsored, but I found this today in a supermarket, and it was reduced, one of those January sale items, and I felt very excited because I do enjoy filtered water, and I have my little jug, but to have filtered water on the go, I was like, this is a bit of me. So I've got myself some water, and we'll have a sip. Why not? What I will say, it's quite hard to sip from. I think it's because it's doing its little filtering job. But anyway, that's rather exciting in my world, anyway. So grab yourself a nice drink, or just freshen yourself up with some water. I think it's so easy when we're working or we're busy, we're active, to actually forget to drink water, especially if you're a tea drinker or coffee drinker. It can be hard to actually want to drink some water, especially when it's cold. Yeah. And it has been snowing. I don't know if I've already said that, but I just can't quite believe it. It's crazy. Next, get yourself in a nice comfy position. So however that is, I'm just sort of sitting cross-legged or cross-legged. Is it legged or legged? I'm unsure. Anyway, sit however you find most comfortable. For me, let's like this. I'm sitting on a nice sort of padded rug as well. Perhaps for you, you are currently laying in bed, maybe you're on a nice comfortable sofa, or maybe you're stood up in the middle of a busy shop. Who knows? But wherever you are, just take a moment to feel nice and comfortable with where you're at, and just roll your shoulders back. So we're just going to roll the shoulders back. Now, if you're like me and you have a bad habit of hunching over at your desk, this is really lovely to do. Apologies if you can hear my shoulders slightly cracking. I'm just a very cracking individual. I don't know why. I don't also know what this is, but that's what we're going to do. I'm a very cracky individual when it comes to the sound, but that's okay. That's fine. So I'm going to do some nice rolls backwards and some roll forwards as well. Just nice and gentle. Lovely. And we're just going to roll our head down and do a nice little sort of semicircle as well. I don't know why I've chosen to have a little necklace on here, but that's okay. Hopefully I don't think I'll quite reach that anyway. That's fine. Okay. Lovely. I've hurt my shoulder a little bit from climbing, so I'm just feeling a little bit delicate, but that's okay. That's fine. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take this arm across and give it a nice little stretch with the other arm. Lovely. And you'll be able to feel just a nice stretch just in your sort of side and of course in your shoulder, and across to the other side as well. Again, if you feel any discomfort, just sit there nice and relaxed, or stand in the middle of the shop, just wherever you are, that's fine. Lovely. And now what we're going to do is we're going to stretch our arms all the way up, and this is going to be a lovely stretch for our spine. So we're going to stretch our hand up, and we're going to lean just very slightly, not too much, just going to lean slightly. Lovely, and we should be able to feel that all the way here. And we're going to lean up again. Lovely, not over too much. However it feels more comfortable, that's fine. And if we can, we'll do both at the same time as well. And you can try and grasp your sort of hands or however you want together. Lovely. Just try and hold that for a few seconds. Good. Perfect. That's great. Now, not so long ago, I had a massage, and she was a lovely lady, but it did make me laugh when she was trying to correct my posture. She seemed very concerned about it, and I do appreciate the concern. Did it make me feel like an 80-year-old lady? Yes, but that's okay. That's okay. We love 80-year-old ladies, so that's fine. That's fine. I will take the advice. But she said to sort of have your arms at this sort of 90-degree angle, keep them close to you, and then go in and out like this. And you'll be able to feel this sort of round your shoulders and your back here. Just keep them quite close to your body. And things like this are wonderful because if you are perhaps less mobile, or you maybe have trouble with your knees and things like that, it means that you're still getting some lovely upper body stretches going if you want to do these sitting down. So that's lovely. And that really just opens up our chest, shoulders, back, just gets us in a better posture. Lovely. Well done. I hope that's loosened you up a little bit. Now, when I'm trying to relax, sometimes I like to try and dip into a little book, and what I've been really enjoying over the past sort of several months is these sort of, I guess you'd call them maybe self-improvement. I don't know if you'd call them maybe self-help. I don't know if I necessarily feel in need of help. Sometimes I definitely do when I'm stressed. But I'll show you the type of thing that I've been reading and what I've been enjoying. So this one I actually only picked up the other day, but I thought I'd share it with you because I think she has some wonderful sort of no nonsense but really just real advice, and this is by Dr. Julie Smith, and it's called Open When. And I actually got myself a lovely little new bookmark as well. I'll show this to you. It says, "Live by the sun, love by the moon." I thought that was really cute. And it has this little tassel on it. I love that. And this is a lovely little book to just dip into. I love dipping into books. So you got things like when you want to be less awkward around people, then you turn to that section. When dealing with passive-aggressive people, when you compare yourself and come up short, when it's hard to ask for help, when you want to win the argument, when you are overwhelmed. And if I'm honest, this was part of the reason why I picked up this book, because I was feeling particularly overwhelmed with bit of work stress, and I thought to myself, I need to find a way to actually cope with this a little bit better. So that was good for me. And when you're overthinking everything, so I think some really great things in here. There's actually 26 different little chapters. And this one as well, you know, when your inner voice is your own worst critic. And I know over the years I've received lots of messages and comments from you guys where maybe you've gone through something and you know, you're sort of struggling with that inner voice of sort of being like, oh, I'm a bit rubbish, I'm a bit unworthy, all of this stuff. And I think sometimes it's just so important to step back and realise how great you actually are, but that's easier said than done. But before we move on to some more stretches, I thought I'd just read you a little bit. Let's go with just the first one of comparing yourself, because I feel like sometimes we all do that, don't we? Okay, so let's talk about social media. She mentions this here. So, it is difficult to self-evaluate without some level of comparison because we don't live in isolation. We live in communities that have norms and expectations of each other. It helps us to avoid the humiliation, rejection and loss of social status that might happen if we blindly breach those expectations. It helps us to navigate all our social interactions throughout life, helping us determine whether we are contributing enough, whether we are acting in certain ways that will be acceptable, and helping us establish who we want to emulate and who we don't. How you measure up in your community matters if you want to navigate successfully within it. So your ability to engage in social comparison is not always your enemy. It's an essential life skill that you wouldn't do so well without. But whilst it helps consider your own surrounding as part of self-valuation, when you consult social media, you are not looking at your real community. In fact, it's really not real at all. It's a collection of carefully crafted, digitally altered images that a person or company wants you to see. And within minutes of indulging in some wildly unfair and deeply unhelpful upwards comparisons, the algorithm has mapped exactly what will keep your attention and feeds you a never-ending stream of content that will make you sick. So, rather than any social comparisons that might help you live your life more effectively, you have the most corrective, poisonous comparisons on repeat that leave you feeling dissatisfied. The psychological toxicity produced by this whole process is either turned inward on ourselves in the form of self-loathing and depression, or gets reflected outwards in malicious sabotaging of those people. You don't need to scroll for long before you find hordes of keyboard warriors spewing their rage at another human being, picking at imperfections like hyenas at a wounded animal, with the attempt to bring them down a peg. The urges to take someone else down online happen more than people will admit. But if you notice it yourself, or the degeneration of satisfaction in your own life, it's time to turn away from social media and spend more time in real life with real people and real connections. That's obviously just Dr. Julie Smith, but I think she makes a very valid point that I think we're all, prone to a bit of social media comparison and having those real life connections, whether it's a best friend, a partner, a family member, or even John down at the local coffee shop, whoever it is, having that moment of real interaction makes us remember that what we are seeing online is not real. And whilst I am being real with you right now, even, at this moment in time, I have my hair done, my makeup done, and I am presenting a sort of better version of myself than perhaps if I was not on camera and I was just slobbed on the sofa with my hair tied up in a tracksuit. So I think we always have to remember that people will always present themselves in the best way online, including myself. So please don't ever sit there and watch someone online and feel bad about yourself, because that is the worst thing you can do, because you are amazing. You are. Now, as I've rambled on, we can do some more stretches, and I'll come up just on my knees for this. And what we can do is we can do some nice little side stretches. So we can literally just stretch our side, this here, just have a nice little stretch. And what I really want to do today is just focus on things that really don't involve a lot of movement. I'm going to have a nice little interaction with this plant here. Just feeling that stretch. Lovely. And now we're going to do a little twist. So we're going to go like this, and a little sort of bounce. So we're going to go like a little sort of 1, 2 to the middle, little bounce. This is really great as a little bit of a core exercise. Having a really strong core is really important, not only for your posture, but it's just really good to have, especially as you sort of get a bit older. Sort of keeps everything upright, so it's always good to have. But this is a nice little stretch for our back. And if you find there's a little bit too much pressure sort of around your waist, just do the sort of one twist, so just like this. Lovely. That's perfect. This is a lovely little routine as well to do before bed, because it's not too intense. Wonderful. That's lovely. And then we just like to do a little bit of a shake out. I always I think it's nice to sort of shake out your hands. That's lovely. Now, if like me you are sitting on the floor, what we're going to do is I'm just going to pop out one leg. Now, obviously you can't see that, but I'm popping out one leg, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lean forward a little bit, so I'm just grabbing my toe. Okay, so I haven't got the longest of arms, so I have a nice little lean, and a friend of mine did a yoga session for me not long ago, and I was saying to her, you know, I'm not that flexible when it comes to sort of doing things like this, and she said if you want a bit of, you know, support to get you sort of down a bit further, use a little yoga block, and that actually really helped. So if you are struggling with this, just lean as far as you can. And then if you have anything to support you, even if it's a little cushion you can put underneath you, and then just lower that cushion a bit as you begin to relax into the pose, that will just help you get down a little bit further. And this is helping to stretch out all the underneath of your leg in particular, and it's also a lovely stretch for your back. You can stay here however long you want to, preferably not all night because I think you would get a stiff leg, but however long feels comfortable to you is good. And we'll do the other side. Oh, dearie me. I'm trying to be a very good example for you guys, but I don't know if I'm doing so well today. Okay. So I'm going to stretch forward as well. This is what happens when you sit too long at your desk. So I'm going to do a nice little stretch on the other side. Really feeling it in the underside of that leg. Fantastic. And it's really nice as well, I think, at the end of the day to stretch out those muscles, and it gives you a place of focus as well. I I've been really loving these meditation candles that burn only for 20 minutes at a time. I think they're really, really useful for focusing your mind, because you think, right, I can find 20 minutes at the end of the day, and that's a time just for me to relax. And I love going to sound baths. That's something that I like to do once or twice a week. I'll go to a sound bath at my local health club, and we will listen to the sounds of a gong being done, being gonged. I don't know the official terminology, but it's a wonderful way to reset your mind. And the candle is the same sort of thing, in the sense that having that dedicated time to just unwind is so important. So I love that. Now, with our legs all stretched out, we can even do both legs at the same time if you're feeling ambitious. So, we can stretch both legs out. And what we want to try and do is we want to just try and keep ourselves nice and upright as well whilst we do this. You can place your hands wherever you like, wherever feels most comfy. And we can just... So I'm just checking myself for decency there. Just checking ourselves for the YouTube peeps. But we want to just try and keep ourselves nice and upright, however feels most comfortable. This can be a little bit of a strain on the hips, so if it does feel a bit of a strain, just bring your legs a bit more inwards. But you want to sort of go to a place where it's just on the right side of a little bit uncomfortable and a little bit of a stretch, but not painful. We don't want that. You can hold this for a little while. And then what I love to do is I love to get my legs, I don't know if I can sort of show you. I'll try and show you by sort of coming like this. So we want to pop our feet together, and this is creating this sort of shape, okay? And what this does is this is creating a fantastic stretch in the hips, in the sort of the thigh area. And we want to try and sort of sit upright like so, and just hold this pose for a few sort of seconds. My friend was trying to encourage me, there's a particular type of yoga where you hold poses for, ideally, I think she said sort of 8 to 12 minutes. And I made it to about 4 minutes per pose. And even then it was very tricky. But I'm going to try and train myself to hold things a lot longer. But it's a good way again to focus the mind in a non-pressurised way. Fabulous. Lovely. And get yourself back into a position where you feel most comfortable. Now, this is another book by Dr. Julie Smith. I promise you, I haven't been in touch with Julie. I think she's fab, but this is her sort of classic one. She became very popular on TikTok, I believe, during those interesting times a few years ago, shall we say. And this again is really another version of that book. It covers lots of different things, from fear, stress, the meaning of life, self-doubt, and all these sorts of things. So, as I said, I'm going to link these in the description. I know that a lot of you don't really enjoy perhaps books like this, but I just thought I'd share, the couple with you that I've been personally really enjoying, because I always think it's nice when you get a book recommendation from someone. So those are two that I've been really enjoying. And the other book that I always have out in the evening when I'm doing my stretching is Yoga for Stiff Birds. Now, I'm pretty sure I've shown this to you before. I need to get the one that I think it's called it maybe it's something to do with fitness or exercises, but it's the same author. And this is such a fun little book, and it gives you all the little yoga poses, but it's in the form of a penguin. It's so cute. I love it. So there are lots of lovely little things, and this is, you know, a bit of what we were doing here. Nice little sort of seated forward fold. We sort of did it on one side, but we can do them together. We've got all our standing poses. We've got our sort of warrior poses. And again, more of our sort of seated ones. One called a dolphin there. Interesting. Got our sun salutations. And nice little thing, my mind keeps wandering. Come back to the breath. Always back to the breath. And if you ever find yourself feeling a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit sort of, not necessarily panicked, but if your mind is sort of racing a little bit, there's a few techniques that I personally really love. One I discovered on the Insight Timer app, which I'm actually hoping to try and be a part of as well, because I've been using it for, you know, the past sort of few years, and I love it. It is free to download as well if you want to go and check it out, but it's full of incredible meditations and all sorts of different things. And there was a technique by a lady on there that says, when you find your mind racing, focus on something in the room where you're at and compare the distance between certain items. And this I find so interesting. This is such a simple technique, but if, I don't know, I look towards my window and I really focus and I can see the distance between this window and this window. And then if I take myself to a picture here, I can see the distance between that picture, and that picture is actually bigger than the distance between the window over there. If I look at another object and do the same, so the distance between that candle and that. And you repeat this with a few objects, and what you'll find is, by the time you've done a few objects, your mind has actually moved off what you were thinking of. So if anyone would like to try that, I definitely recommend that. Another thing that's always helpful and is always going to calm you down is doing a bit of breathing. And my favourite is box breathing, and you can do this either by imagining a box or by looking at something square or rectangular. Ideally square, I guess, if it's a box. But you can look at, say, a picture maybe. And what you want to do is literally with your breath, picture yourself drawing this box. So it would normally be in an even amount of breaths. So we would breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and draw the line down. Breathe out, and draw the line back. Breathe in, and draw the line back. And by repeating this, we have a lovely little breathing box going on. You can also get some lovely things that are like these sort of glowing, lit up sort of objects. I think there's one that's a little Buddha that I've seen online that I may get myself actually, and it glows the different colours based on the counts of breath. So that's lovely, but bring yourself back to that breath work is such an easy way to relax the mind and body. And the other way is actually something that Dr. Julie recommends, and it's to do with sort of rumination. So let's say you find yourself in a place of overthinking. Maybe you're thinking about work stress, family stress, life stress, and you find yourself stuck in this bit of a thought loop. And for me, someone with OCD, I definitely find myself stuck in these thoughts sometimes. And one thing that can be really helpful is if you physically say stop. You put your hand out in front of you and you say stop. And you get yourself up and you move about. That could be, if you're working from home, moving to the kitchen, making yourself a drink. That could be heading out for a walk. It could be something super simple. If you're laying on the sofa thinking of something that's causing you a bit of stress, physically getting up and actually moving, whether that's physical exercise or just general movement, gets you out of that set mind pattern. And all of a sudden, you're thinking about other things. And I know that everybody has a different way of thinking. It's not always that easy, especially if you have some major life events going on. It's not just going to go away if you say stop. But it can help to break some unhealthy patterns. If you find yourself stuck in that loop, maybe give that a bit of a try. But, do it, you do you. I always I always say to a friend of mine, I'm like, if he's sort of going off on a tangent about something, I'm like, you do you, boo, you do you. You've got to just, try and do what's best for you. But I do think if you are sort of finding yourself a bit stressed, having a bit of movement, stopping yourself in that moment, just being self-aware, and realising that thoughts are not facts, that's very helpful. So hopefully that helps someone. But anyway, we are going to finish off our lovely little chat, calming, stretchy, gentle session today with just some lovely, kind, warming thoughts. So if for this you want to close your eyes, please feel free to. I won't be offended if you're not looking at me. Please close your eyes, relax, and I just want to encourage you to take this time just to focus on my words. So if you still have your eyes open, you'll notice I've tried to turn the lights down for you, but it hasn't exactly got dark, so I'd probably advise you to still keep your eyes closed. Anyway, what I really want you to focus on is that you are a unique individual. There is only one of you, and you are enough just the way you are. There is nobody on this planet that is like you, and that in itself is incredible. Sometimes it can be so hard to compare ourselves, but it is an amazing thing that there is only one of you. And even in times of self-doubt, I want you to remember that there is nothing wrong with you. There is nothing more that is going to really change you in someone else's eyes, because people are going to view you how they view you. All you can do is be yourself and surround yourself with people who see the best in you and appreciate you for who you are. So if you're struggling at the moment with a little bit of self-doubt or a bit of lack of self-love, just know that you are exactly where you need to be. You are perfect just the way you are, and there is no need to change for anyone, because you are enough. As we start 2025, it is a new chance for new opportunities, new personal growth. And I know for me, I really want to take the chance this year to really appreciate myself. And I know that that may seem, I guess, a little bit woke. I feel like there can be a lot of wokeness going on in this world at times, and whilst in some ways it can be really positive, I feel in other ways we sort of lose sense of the real basic needs and necessities of life. And I think one of those basic needs is really learning to just appreciate life, appreciate what we have, and appreciating just who we are. And that can get lost in trying to be the best, trying to have the best stuff, trying to get on the property ladder, have the best job, have the best relationship, all these things, and when you throw into the mix things like politics and all sorts of different things, the world can become a very noisy place. And so this year I'm going to try and tune out a little bit of that noise, and I'd love you to try and do the same and focus on what makes you happy, what makes your heart sing, what makes you feel good, and not for anybody else but for you. And that's the most important thing. And if you find yourself in a time when you have a bit of a low mood, know that that isn't a permanent feeling. Feelings are not permanent, otherwise, everyone would remain with the same first crush they had when they were like 7. Things wouldn't change, people wouldn't move on, we'd still all be in our first jobs, and maybe you are. But times change and feelings change and people change, and what's important to note is that if you are feeling down, recognise that you perhaps don't feel the same that you did a year ago or a few months ago, and keep that in mind when you're feeling a bit low and down, and recognise that thoughts are not facts, and you have the power to control your thoughts. You are such a wonderful person with so many amazing opportunities out there. You're living, breathing, and I honestly think that you have a wonderful, wonderful chance to live the life that you really, really want to. And I know in itself that may sound a bit woke, but what I mean is you just have to enjoy life and do what you can whilst you can, because life is precious, and for those of us who have the chance to live it, we should grasp it with both hands. And if right now you're feeling a bit down, feeling a bit low, I want you to know that there are people out there who feel just the same, and trust me, I felt the same at times, but you've got to pick yourself up. You've got this. And I know that you can make this January onwards just the best time, and even if it's not the best time, it can be a better time, and from better we can get to best. So we're on an upward trajectory or trajectory. Anyway, I want you to know that you are loved, you are special, you're important, and you do not need to change for anybody. And with that, I will wish you a good night, potentially a good morning, wherever you are. And thank you so much for spending this initial little first bit of the year with me. It's been so lovely, and I hope that we can spend some more time together this year. And if you've enjoyed some of these very gentle stretches, you can see some more full body stretches in some of my other videos. And as I said, I will pop the link to my lovely little Raycons below, and also those books if you'd like to check them out. Thank you so much for taking this time. I will leave you to relax and further unwind. I hope you have a wonderful sleep, a wonderful day, a wonderful January, and a wonderful year. And I really, really am excited to see you again soon. Good night for now.